Okay, so good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, how are you all?
Good, sir. How are you?
Yes, I'm also good. Okay, am I audible clearly to all?
No, sir.
Okay, my voice is
Your
lagging.
voice is breaking.
Okay, just give me a minute. Okay, is my voice clear now? Tell me, is it clear?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay, so let's start the class now. Let me. Okay, so is my screen visible? Is my screen visible to all? Is it visible, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, so in last class we discussed about functions, and in function we discussed about different types of variable like local variable and global variable. So can anyone tell me what is local variable,
Which is defined inside the function.
which is defined inside the function? Yes, nice. So we can say a variable created inside the function is called local variable. Correct? What is the scope of local variable? Can we access local variable from outside the function? Can we access a local variable outside the function?
No.
No, we cannot access a local variable from outside the function. Okay. So the scope of this local variable, okay, the scope of this local variable is within function. Correct? Is it clear now? Okay, now talk about global variable. Okay, practically we understood these things in last class. Okay, so just we are writing points about this. Okay, what is a global variable?
which can be accessed both inside and outside the function.
Okay, so where we create a global variable exactly inside the function or outside the function?
Outside.
Outside
outside the
of,
function.
okay, a variable, okay, created outside function is called global variable. Correct? A variable created outside the function is called global variable. Understood? Okay. Suppose if I want to access a global variable from inside the function, how can I access?
By using global keyword.
By using global keyword. Okay. We can access the global. Okay. So we can access the global variable inside the function by using global keyword. Correct? Okay, what is the scope of the global variable? So can we say we can access the global variable from inside the function and outside the function as well? Is it true?
Yes, sir.
So the
Yes.
scope of the global variable is within function and outside the function. Clear this much? Okay. So now let's start another topic. Okay, what is another topic? Another topic is function with parameters. Okay, functions with parameters. So what is the functions with parameters? Okay, so let me tell you. Let me open ideally. Okay, so for example, when you are creating a function and you are writing function name, okay, and you are writing here n is equals to 10 and 2 is equals to 20. So this n1 is a local variable. Okay, here n2 is also a local variable. Okay, and what is the name of this function? The name of this function is a
As
function without parameters. Correct? A function without parameters. Okay, and we can print here n1 plus n2. Right, so this is a function without parameter and this is known as calling to add function. Right, so it is giving the result. Now what is the mean of function with parameters? Okay, so I'm creating add to function. Okay, so this function will receive parameters like n1 comma n2. Okay, so we can say a function with parameters. Okay, a function with parameters, and here we can print n1 plus n2. Okay, but the thing is, when you call the add2 function, okay, can't call add2 function without giving inputs. Okay, so when you call this add2 function, it required how many inputs? Two inputs. These inputs are nothing but parameters, and here it is known as arguments. Okay, or we can say inputs. So if you will call add2 function which is required two parameters, but we are not passing any parameters, so it will generate one error. So what it is saying, add2 function missing two, okay, missing two required positional argument n1 and n2. So what it is trying to say means your add2 function is asking two values, but at the time of calling you are not fulfilling the requirement of add2 function. So how we can fulfill the requirement of add2 function? By passing two inputs, right? So this is how I fill the requirement. Suppose if you are passing one input only, then what will happen if you will run? So it is saying add to function missing one required argument. Okay, means one is already fulfilled, but one is remaining with the requirement. So let's fulfill the second requirement also. Okay, so it is printing 30 and 30. Okay, if you will give different value, so it will work like this. It is printing 60. Okay, if you will give
Sir, can you
more.
repeat it again?
Okay, what I am trying to say, I have created one function which is add function. It does not require any inputs at the time of calling. So when we are calling this add function, we are not passing any input inside the function, because here it is not asking any input, because a function without parameters, there is no parameters here. But when we talk about add2 function, it requires two inputs, two values, n1 and n2. So when we are calling this add2 function, we are passing how many arguments? Two arguments. And we can say a function with parameters. And how many parameters are there? Two parameters. So that is how you need to pass two inputs at least. Okay, not at least but exactly two inputs. Suppose if you will pass three inputs, how many inputs it required? Two inputs. How many we are passing at the time of calling? Three. So what it will display now? It will display add to function takes two positional argument, but three were given, right? So how many should be there? Exactly two. Okay, can I call add to function again? Can I call add to function again? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir, we
this
can.
time I am creating one variable called a is equals to 100, b is equals to 200. Okay, now at the time of calling add to, I will pass here a comma b. A comma b are nothing but 100 and 200. Is it okay? Okay, are we fulfilling the requirement of add to function or not? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so let's run it. So we are getting output as 300. Can we call add to function one more time?
Yes, sir.
Yes, definitely we can call. Okay, so this time I am creating n1 and I am taking input from the user. by using input function. Okay, and I'm writing what? Enter num1, right? And now I'm creating one more variable. Here I'm taking one more input from the user. Enter num2, right? Can I call this add2 function? At the time of calling, can I write here num1 comma num2? Can I pass?
Yes, sir.
Because
Yes.
we are fulfilling the requirement of add to function. It doesn't mean how you are fulfilling. You are giving directly values, or you are storing the values first in variable and then you are passing variable, or you are taking values from the user and then passing. So it doesn't matter. The thing is, you should need to fulfill the add to function requirement, which is required two parameters. So let me run this. So it has printed these values. Okay, so 30 is coming because we are calling which function? Add function. Okay, add function has n1 and n2 and it is providing sum. So it is printing 10 and 20 means 30 it is printing. And after that we are calling this add to function and we are passing 10 and 20 in add to function. And it is printing addition of n1 and n2, which is 60. So 60 we are getting. So now after that we are calling which function? Add to function, and we are passing a and b. Okay, so a and b will go in n1 and n2. So what is the n1 value? 100. What's the n2 value? 200. So it is printing what? 300. Now after calling this add to function by providing a and b argument, now it is asking input for the num1. Okay, so I am passing here input is what? Like 99. Okay, and second number is 1. So it is giving what? 100 as a output. Is it clear now? Is it clear to all?
Yes, sir, clear.
Okay. Okay, function with parameter. So what are the function with parameter? So parameters are nothing but it is like a local variable. Okay, so parameters are local variables. Okay, which receive values at the time of calling function. Okay, when we call the function, then only we need to pass parameters into the function which is asking the parameters. Okay, okay, calling or invoking both are the same thing. Okay, so at the time of calling or invoking. Okay, invoking and calling both are the same thing. Invoking function and calling function both are the same. Getting, guys? Okay, the second thing is a function required input to perform operation. Okay, that function is defined with parameters. Okay, so what does it mean? So whenever you will call this add to function, so add to function are totally dependent on n1 and n2 value in order to perform the addition. If you will not pass n1 and n2 value inside what? Add to function, it won't be able to perform the operation. But if we talk about add function, it doesn't depend on parameters. Without parameters, it can perform the operation. Why? Because it has its own local variables. Getting? Okay. 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 So note, a function can have four types of parameters. Okay, parameters or arguments, right? A function can have four types of parameters or arguments. Okay, am I teaching slow or should I increase the speed of teaching? Can anyone give me the feedback? Am I going slow or is it fine for you guys?
It's okay, sir.
It's okay now? Okay, because understanding of the concept is more important than learning many things. Okay, you can learn many things in one day, but it doesn't means you will be master of that things. So let's go with the flow. Okay, so what are the four types of parameters or arguments? Okay, what are the parameters and arguments? These are the parameters or arguments. Okay, so these parameters can be four types. Okay, what is the first type?
Function which receive and returns.
Okay, so it can be, okay, so it can be required positional argument. Okay, and the second one is default argument. Okay, and the third one is variable length argument, and the fourth one is keyword arguments, right? So the first one is, what is the first one? What is the first one?
Positional arguments.
The second one?
Default arguments.
The third one?
Variable length arguments.
Okay, what about the last one?
Keyword arguments.
Keyword argument. Okay, okay, so what's the required positional arguments? Okay, required positional argument. Okay, so a function with required positional arguments, required values at the time of invoking function or calling the function. Okay, so we have already seen the example of required positional argument. So let me create another file so that you can understand it clearly. Okay, so for example, I'm creating here dev fun. Okay, so I'm writing here a comma b. I'm printing here a and I'm printing here b, right? Okay, so can I call this function like this? Can I call this function like this? It is giving error, and what it is giving, what it is saying, positional arguments a and b. Okay, missing two required positional argument. So this function having what? Positional argument. Okay, positional argument. This function having two positional argument. So if you will pass here 100 comma 200, then it will work. Okay, so when we are passing these two parameters at the time of calling or invoking, correct? So positional or okay, positional and required argument we pass at the time of calling or invoking a function, right? Okay, okay, can anyone solve this problem? Write a function, write a function called power, okay, which will receive which will receive two positional argument, okay, positional arguments like argument like num1, I mean num and power. Okay, so it will receive two positional arguments like num and power, right? And will this function will print the num power as a result. So can anyone solve this task? Anyone? Let me who can share the computer screen right now? Who want to try this?
I can, sir.
Who is saying? Can you please? Okay, Sai Lakshmi.
Yes, sir, I can.
Okay, Sai Lakshmi, please share the screen. And who can help the Sai Lakshmi in order to perform this task? Anyone? Reshma, can you help Sai Lakshmi? Juberia, can you help the Sai Lakshmi?
Yes, sir. I will try, sir.
Okay. So Reshma and and Juberia, both of you will help Sai Lakshmi in order to write the code. Are you getting?
Yes, sir.
I'm not getting confirmation from the Reshma side. I think there is a network issue from her side.
Yes, sir. Should I start?
Yes, please. And one more thing. Yes, please, you can. And one more thing, whatever code you will write, you need to explain the code. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead.
So first we have to define a function with power, and we have to give two parameters to it. Those are num and power. Then after that, should we take input from user, sir?
See, your function, you can ask your colleagues. You can ask Juberia.
Juveria, tell me if we have to take input from user or we will directly assign it.
We will take input from user.
Okay.
I think, like, Mamta, what do you think? Should we need to take input from the user? Mamta and Ursula, what do you think, guys?
Yes, sir. We require two numbers, ma'am. So we need to take input.
Okay, so Sai Lakshmi, before writing the code, just write one more point as a comment before the function.
Okay, sir.
Right here. So parameters. Okay, or write like this. A parameterized function, a function with parameter, right? A function with parameters will take input at the time of calling or invoking. And before this line, write note, mention note, note column.
In comment.
Yes. So now tell me, do we really require input before calling it?
No.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Because our input will come at the time of calling power function. Okay, in power function we will pass two values. One is number and second is the power of number. Okay, so just write pass in this function. Just write pass keyword. Okay, later we will write the logic. Okay, now try to call this function. How you will call this function? Just no.
I think we should write
Suppose,
values.
yeah, my requirement is I have to calculate 5 power 2. So I have said number as 5 and power as 2.
5 comma 2 we will write.
Here 5.
In brackets. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Now go inside the function and write the logic to calculate the power. Your function inside the function, it should print the power. What is the operation of the function? It will print the power. You can delete the pass now.
Okay, sir. That's it, sir.
I think we no need to use that brackets.
Okay. So will it print?
No, sir.
So what we need to do?
Need to write print function.
We need to write print function outside the function or inside the function.
Inside.
Outside.
Can we access result variable outside the function?
No, inside the function.
Is
Inside,
result
sir.
variable local variable or global variable?
Local
Local
variable.
variable.
Okay, so we can access it from inside the function only.
inside the function.
Yes. So you can write the message. The power of write something like the power of 5 power is power of 5. Okay. 5 power 2 is something whatever.
Num power p.
Result is, sir, the result is no.
Yes, yes. Just print the number also so we can clearly see this is the number and this is the power. Yeah. In right curly braces. Write the curly braces. Yeah. No need to use this is num
You
power.
can write is.
No, 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 no.
Then P.
This is we are
No,
not writing correctly. We have to write suppose 5 power 2 is 5 and power. Just write 5 and power and after power p variable print power print right here power. Yes. And now p is yes result. You forgot to print
Is
the
result.
okay. That's it, sir. Should I run?
yes you may run.
It is working.
Okay, try to give different inputs to this power function by calling more than one time. Try to call the power function more than one time.
Power function. Yeah. With the different numbers, sir.
Yes, you may give different numbers.
Yes, with.
Okay, you can one more time. Yes, now try to call it.
Sir, it is working.
Okay, it is working. All right. So you created the program successfully. All right. Thank you. You can stop sharing now. Okay. So now let's understand another topic, another concept about the parameters only. So function with type hint. Okay, function with type hint. What does it mean? In C language or C++ language, we create the function. How we create the function in C language? We write int, which is return type, and we write add, and we specify int a and int b. Okay, so this is a hint. This is what a hint. A will take integer value. Suppose I'm writing here float and b will take the float value. So this is a hint for the parameter. So in Python we also have hint parameters. Okay, so in Python, okay, hinting is an optional type, but useful to make our code easier to read. Okay. Okay. So why this hint required? So you can note one thing: when you- when whenever you write parameters with hint, so it is very much helpful to debug your code by providing, okay, hint type of values. Okay. And the second point is, this is what first point, and the second point is, it is easy for developers also to understand the nature of the function. Okay, so how to create a function with hint? Okay, so let's see. So basically the hint is not very much useful nowadays. Like sometime it is very useful and sometime it is useless. Okay, but as a programmer you should know about this also. So for example, I'm creating here function called def fun. Okay, and I'm writing here a comma b. Okay, and we are printing a plus b. Okay, so can I pass here, can I call this function by passing 10 and 20? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Can I call this function by passing hello and word? Can I call this function by passing hello and word?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes. So if you will pass a string, means this plus will work as a concatenation. So is it working or not? It is working, and it is printing the result as well. Okay. Can I associate the hint? Can I associate the hint with this parameters? So it is what integer value. It will take integer value, and it will also take integer value. Okay. So still it is taking this values. Okay, it will not bytecode these values, but as a developer you will not try to give these values to this function, because you mentioned in parameters like this function made for working on what, working on integer values. Suppose if I multiply it, so it is giving error. So if you will give the hint as what, int, so it will take values as a int. Okay, because this function will perform which operation, arithmetic operation. Okay, so that's why developers will not pass such kind of input while testing the function. So can we pass here 10 comma 5 comma 30 comma 5 like this? Can we pass float values? Yes, we can pass float values. Okay, so it is printing like this. Okay, because it required what types of values, number as a value. Okay, it will not work on string. This is just an hint. Getting everyone? Understanding this? At the time of testing function, it is very much useful. When you go to the lead code, they will show you hint. Okay, for example, I'm opening here neat code. So when you see the programs, they will show you hint. Why? Because so whenever you write the logic for the function, you write accordingly. Okay, so I'm going in array and I'm going to open do some problem. So see here it is mentioned what this numbers are taking what list. Okay, this target value is what integer. It should be integer. Okay, it can get the string value as well, but if you will pass string value inside this parameters, then there will be no use. So this is a hint for developer. Who are the developer? We are the developers. Whenever we will solve this problem, we will consider that this target is what integer type we have to send. Means whatever the test cases is there, okay, in the test cases they always send the target value as what integer. Okay, they will not send target value as what string. Getting? Okay, so here also you can mention they are giving hint what s is what type integer string type and t is what string type. So so for s they are sending what string and for t they are sending string. Okay, so these are what test cases. So at the time of testing the function, so this is very helpful. In test case 2 they are sending what string input. Are you getting what I'm trying to say here?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now let's understand another concept in functions only. So this is an important concept. Okay. So what we have? Return keyword. Okay, return keyword is one of the important concept in functions. Okay, so what is the return keyword? Let's understand it. Return is a keyword. Return is what? A keyword, or we can say passes control statement. Okay, return as a keyword or passes control statement. Right? What does it mean? So I'm creating here a function. I'm creating here one function def fun. Okay, this is the function, and we are creating here int a. Okay, I'm writing hint, don't be confused by this. Okay, it is simple. It is like this a. If you are writing this a comma b, that is fine, but as a developer it is a good way to mention, like you are defining these parameters for integers or different purpose. So I'm defining this for integer purpose only. So this is good habit. It is not mandatory, but it is a good habit. Are you understanding? A function. So this is what a function with hint parameters, right? And after that what we have to do, we have to calculate a plus b. Okay, after that we have to return it result. So this flow, so what is the flow? When we call this function, when we call this function fun1, so how many arguments it required, how many parameters it required at the time of calling? Are you guys understanding this concept or not, or should we stop the class? Tell me, because this concept is important. If you will not feeling like to understand this, then we can stop the class. Tell me what you will say. Should we continue or should we stop? No one is there.
We can continue, sir.
Okay, okay, nice. So we need to pass two arguments, 10 and 20. So this return will pass the flow. Okay, for example, this is what? This is a ball. Okay, so this ball will pass to the function from where it is calling. So who is calling this fun one? I mean, who is calling this fun function? This here we are calling this fun function. So this return will pass this result to here, right? So if you will print this function, if you will print the function, if you will print the function, so what will happen? If you will print the function, it will print the result, because this function, fun function, will return the result here. Okay, this line will replace with result. Getting what I'm trying to say? So let me execute this. So it is printing 30. Suppose if I not write here print, if I don't write here print, so what will happen? It will not print anything. It is not printing anything. So whatever it is returning, it will return to the calling function. So can I store this result in a variable called a? Yes. Can I print it after assigning inside the a variable? Yes, I can print like that also. Okay, addition is, what's the addition? A. So this function is performing one operation for adding the parameters, and it is storing inside the result, and after that there is return keyword which is returning the result to the calling line. This is the calling line, and it will return the result, and that result, whatever result is coming from the fun function, that will store inside a. And here we are printing a. A is containing what? The material which is returned by this fun function. What the material returned by the fun function? The value of the sum of a and b, a plus b. So what it will print? It will print addition is what? 30. Getting this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so after return, can I write something like print I am inside the function? Can I write like this? So the answer is no. You cannot write like this. Once it will see the return keyword, after returning this value, the function will terminate. Means function will ignore this line. Whatever lines you will write after the return keywords, it will ignore all the lines. It will ignore all the lines. Okay, so it is printing what? 30. But before the return, if you will write all these lines, so these lines having some sense, it will print. It will print. But after the print, okay, I'm writing here print after return. Okay, and I'm writing one more print before return. So it will print before return. It will print till before return, and after returning this result to this fun function, it won't print anything because after returning it will terminate. So you can see in demo. So it is printing before the return, till before the return, but it is not printing after the return. So what's the concept? What is the concept here? What is the learning here? Return keyword. Okay. After returning value, it terminates execution of function. Getting? After return keyword, after returning the value, it terminates execution of function. Getting this, everyone?
Got it, sir.
Okay, good. Okay, so tell me now, let me take a new file, return to. Okay, I'm creating here one function, fun. Okay, and this function is not asking any parameters, it is without parameters, and we are returning 10, we are returning return 20, we are returning 30. I am writing here fun. Okay, I am writing here fun, I am writing here fun, and I am printing here a, printing here b, and printing here c. So can anyone tell me what will be the output of this print function? Print a, what it will print, and what this print will print, and what this print will print. Can anyone help me with this?
So we are not assigning variables, no sir, over there.
We are not. Okay, no.
Assigning variables.
We are not taking inputs over
Okay,
there.
okay, fine. A is equals to 10, or let's say clearly I'm saying n equals to 10, n2 is equals to 20, n3 is equals to 30. But this way is also okay, but no worries if you're not getting this concept. So now is it fine according to you? Is it fine? Now this function have local variables, and it is returning local variables, and it is returning local variable to a, and it is returning here b also. Okay, c will also receive some value because this one function is returning some value. Tell me.
10, 20, 30, I think so.
So it will print what? Okay, so before giving me the answer, actual answer, before giving me the answer, can you please read this line once? Can you read this line once loudly? Can anyone please read this line for me? No one?
Return keyword after returning value, it terminates execution of function.
What is the mean of it? Can you please explain in simple way what is the technical mean of it?
After returning the given value or input, it will terminate the execution.
Means it will not return further things. Once it return one
Yes,
value,
sir.
it will not return anything, and it will not consider anything after one return. Once it will encounter one return, it will ignore all the things. It will ignore all the return keywords, all the print and everything. So now try to tell me the output. So
Error, sir.
Only it will print N1, I think.
so it will it consider or ignore?
It will consider.
Consider. It will consider or ignore? It will consider or ignore?
Ignore.
What I have written here, return keyword, after returning value, it terminates of execution of function. So it has returned one value. It has returned one value which is n1. So this two return are useless. These two returns are useless because after one return, the termination happen, means we for the PVM the function length is this much. These are these two things it will ignore. So function is this much only. So can you please tell me what fun is returning here? Fun is returning what? Fun is returning what? What is the n1 value? 10.
10.
What fun is returning here? What's the n1 value?
10.
It will always return n1. Okay, no matter how many time you are calling and how many different variables you are assigning this function value, but always it will return what? 10. What it will print? What it will print?
10.
10.
10, 10 and 10. Are you understanding this concept? So what it is printing? 10, 10 and 10. So after returning whatever story you are writing, that story is useless. Right? Okay. So let me give you one assignment question. Okay. And your task again same. Submit. Okay. Assignment. Okay. It is hanging. Just wait. Okay. So assignment. Now. So what is the assignment? Create a factorial function which will take one int integer hint parameter, right? And this function should return the factorial of 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 the number which is coming from parameter. Okay, so note, so this function, okay, factorial function, okay, so it should have one parameter as num, okay, called int. So this factorial function will return, okay, factorial to the calling or invoking function. Okay, and print the return factorial outside the function. Okay, see, in this assignment is not that much hard, but I over explained it. I explained each and everything in detail. That's why it is looking like it is very hard, right? So it is not hard. Submit it on YouTube comment section of this video. Can you please do this when I will send the recording link? Okay, then you have to submit this assignment. Any question you want to ask regarding this assignment? Yes or no?
No, sir.
Okay, so that is all right. So I think it is enough for today, right? So can we stop the class now?
Sir, I
Yes,
have
sir.
one
Sir,
question.
Yes, please.
Sir, what is the difference between parameters and arguments?
uh, don't chase to the difference between parameters and arguments. Okay, parameters are nothing but, see, we can say there is not a much different in argument and parameter. Okay, so for example, you are defining a function. Okay, para1. Okay, and para2. Okay, right. Did you get the answer? What's the mistake we are doing? AR argument
Sir, in function you wrote argu, but in variable you wrote agru. In one function,
Okay, okay.
argument one.
Okay, so when we are giving inputs to the function, that is known as arguments. A function is receiving that inputs, that is known as parameters. So these are the parameters. How many parameters we need to define in a function? How many arguments we need to pass in a function? Okay, getting?
Got it, sir.
So we are passing argument 1 and argument 1. We are receiving parameters 1 and parameter 2. All right. Any other question?
No, sir.
sir, I didn't got that note clearly.
You didn't get what?
Note in the assignment.
Okay, okay. So regarding assignment, yes. What do you want to ask here?
Here in the last second line, print the returned factorial outside the function.
Okay, print the return factorial. Suppose I'm giving you a simple example. Okay, so I'm creating this fact. factorial function, I will not create exactly the same. Okay, so it is receiving one number, okay, which is integer type as a hint I'm giving, right? And here you have to write the logic for, okay, logic for factorial. Okay, so after that it will return fact. Okay, so you have to print the fact. Okay, how you will print the fact? Like result, you created one variable outside the function result, and you call this function factorial, and you pass one argument like 5. Okay, so this is how you have to print the result outside the function. Okay, so this is result is nothing but factorial result. Factorial function will have some operation, some logic to calculate the factorial. After calculating the factorial, it will return the fact. Okay, and who will receive this fact? Result. And we are printing the factorial here. So what is the 5 factorial? I guess 120. So it is printing 120. Okay, you can print something like factorial is factorial of 5 is something. Are you clear now?
Yes, sir, I got it.
Okay. Anything else? Any other question?
No, sir.
Okay, so how you will actually calculate the factorial? So for example, number value is what? 5. So what you have to do? You have to run the loop from 1 to 1 multiply 2 multiply 3 multiply 4 multiply up to 5. Okay, so loop can generate these all values for you, and each value you have to multiply. Okay, and you have to, after multiplication, you have to store this multiplication inside a fact. Okay, and initially you will create a fact as a 1. Initially it is 1, and you will multiply each time. Okay, but how you will multiply, that is the logic you need to understand. You have to multiply and store. Okay, so the factorial result should be, the fact result should be 120, and how it will come you have to identify, otherwise I will tell you, right? All right guys, so that's it for today. So thank you for joining. If you have any question you can ask, otherwise you can leave the meeting. Good night everyone. Yes.
सर सर इस मतलब अभी टाइम लगता क्या HTML स्टार्ट करने